Hello, my friends, and welcome again to we're nearing the end of another wonderful day of the Moon Carnival. Thank you for being with us for so long.
Hello.
We got
Howdy.
Dan, PB, Juliet. We thought coming out of the Jory zone, we needed a little relax, especially as we're about to go to bed by daylight. What better to bridge these two things than some Among Us. We might have some special guests coming our way. They're a little delayed at the moment, but just going to explain some imposter Among Us and having a good time. Thank you again for raising money for Trans Life. And we are well on our way to our next goal. So thank you so much. I forgot that imposter just tells you who the thing is. So the way this works is you pick where you start, and we have to do our tasks. And PB.
Oh, okay. It's been a little while since I played some,
Alright. Gotta do my little tasks.
There it is.
Oh, someone's dead.
This is
I know
not...
I'm not being sneaky, because you know.
Where are my little tasks?
But I also don't know
long.
them, so I'm just gonna be wandering.
I made it so far. I can't believe we got to Saturday night, and then I finally get killed.
Finally die. We are gonna kill you in real life, actually. Oh, I'm sorry.
Ah,
Yeah.
shit. Come
4,
on.
3,
Where are my little tasks?
1. They've added new tasks. Cutting.
You know what? I would be a lot.
Good. I believe so.
Good.
Joseph Conrad once said, "We live as we dream, alone." We fade in sometime in the future. Interior engine room. Empty. Cavernous. Interior engine cubicle. It's circular, jammed with instruments, all of them idle, with console chairs for 2. Empty. Interior in the oily corridor on the sea level. Long and dark. Empty. Turbos throbbing. No other movement. Interior corridor, A level. Long. Empty. Interior infirmary, A level, with distressed ivory walls and all instrumentation at rest. Interior corridor to bridge, A level, is black and empty. And the bridge is vacant. 2 empty space helmets resting on chairs. An electrical hum. Lights on the helmets begin to signal one another. Moments of silence. A yellow light goes on. A data mined bank in the background with an electronic hum. A green light going on in front of one helmet. Electronic pulsing sounds. A red light going on in front of the other helmet. An electronic conversation ensues, reaches a crescendo, and then silence. The lights go off, save the yellow. Interior corridor to the hypersleep vault. The lights come on, and 7 gowns hang from the curved wall. The vault door opens. In the interior of the hypersleep vault, there's an explosion of escaping gas. The lid on a freezer popping open, and slowly, groggily, Kane sits up, pale. Kane rubs the sleep from his eyes, stands, looks around, stretches, looks to the other freezer compartments, scratches, and moves off. In the interior of the gallery, Lane plugs in a Silex, lights a cigarette, coughs, grinds some coffee beans, and runs some water through them.
Rise and shine, Lambert.
Interior of the hyperspace vault, another lid pops open, and a young woman sits up.
What time is it? What do you care?
In the gallery, the pot's now half full. Kane watches it drip, inhales the fragrance.
Now, Dallas and Ash. Good morning, Captain.
Who's Dallas?
Which one's Dallas?
Me. I'm Dallas.
Your
I
line?
said my line. I said it.
Oh, it didn't come through. I'm sorry.
And where's the coffee?
Lambert walks into the kitchen, pours herself a cup, In the interior of the hyperspace vault, 2 more lids pop open. A pair of men sit up, look at each other. In the gallery, Kane enjoys a freshly brewed cup.
Ripley.
Another moment, and then the sound of another lid opening.
And if we have Parker, can Brett be far behind?
Lid opening sound.
Right.
In the interior hypersleep vault, Dallas looks at his groggy circus.
One of you jokers get the cat.
Ripley picks up a limp cat out of one of the compartments. In the interior of the mess hall, we see the crew of the United States commercial ship Nostromo seated around a table. Dallas, the captain, Kane, the executive officer, Ripley, the warrant officer, Ash, the science officer, Lambert, the navigator, Parker, the engineer, Brett, the engineering technician, and Jones, the cat. 5 men and 2 women, Lambert and Ripley.
Jesus, am I cold.
Still with us, Brett?
Yo.
Lucky us.
They yawn, stretch, shiver, and Dallas looks over at a flashing yellow light.
I feel dead.
Kane's not fully yet awake. They yawn.
You look dead.
Nice to be back.
Before we dock, maybe we'd better go over the bonus situation.
Yeah.
Brett and I think we deserve a full chair.
You two will get what you're contracted for, just like everybody else.
Everybody else gets more than us.
Everybody else deserves more than you two.
Mother wants to talk to you.
I saw it. Yellow light for my eyes only. Now, everybody hit their stations.
In the interior computer room annex, there are floor-to-ceiling databanks. Another flashing yellow light with a legend underneath. Command priority access only. Dallas enters, sits at his console, removes the insignia master computer key attached to his shirt. He plugs it into the board under the light. All banks burst into life, and Dallas punches in a computer code on the keyboard. The legend pops up on the screen.
It's my goddamn key.
Printout from the computer answers.
01335 on the binary side.
Thank you, Mother.
Dallas punches up the combination on the keyboard and immediately starts getting a readout. We cut to the interior bridge. Above eye level, the room is ringed by view screens, all of them blank. Kane, Ripley, and Lambert enter. Dallas' seat remains empty. All of them now dressed, they find their way to individual consoles. Ripley puts down the cat, straps herself into the high-backed chair.
Plug us in.
All 3 crew members begin throwing switches. The control room starts to come to life. Colored lights flicker and chase each other across glowing screens.
Give us something to look at.
Lambert presses a bank of switches as view screens glimmer into life.
Take a look at this.
On each screen, blackness speckled with stars.
Where's Earth? You're the navigator.
That's not our system.
Scan.
Lambert hits several toggles. On the screens, the images begin to drift. And on one of the screens, a moving image of a starfield.
Outside of Nostromo. The factory starship lumbering. Hello.
You're good. Keep going.
Can you not hear me? Okay.
No,
sorry.
you're good.
The factory starship lumbering with the depths of interstellar space. Function: petroleum tanker and refinery. Capacity: 2,000 million tons. Length: 1.5 kilometers. Battered exterior encrusted with dark sludge.
But on the interior bridge, Lambert pores over charts, consults her console. Puzzled.
Contact traffic control.
Ripley switches on her transmission unit.
This is commercial vessel Nostromo, registration number 180246. Do you read me? Over?
Nothing but the hiss of static.
Nothing.
Keep trying.
They turn to Lambert. Ripley's attempting transmission in the background.
You got a reading yet?
We're way out in the boondocks here.
Keep trying.
Working on it.
Eureka.
Found it.
Hard to believe.
What the hell are we doing out here?
What are you talking about?
It's not our system.
In the interior engine room, a giant reactor system is purring smoothly. Parker and Brett are in a glass cubicle, each having a beer. A huge power plant stretches before them, all units on automatic hyperdrive. Parker hits a switch above his desk, and a green light turns on.
How's your light?
Green.
Mine too.
They both take a swig, when suddenly a beeper signal begins.
Christ, what is it now?
Right.
Report to the mess.
In the oily corridor on the sea level.
I want to know why they never come down here. This is where the work is.
Same reason we have half a share to their one. Our time is their time. That's the way they see it.
Well, I'll tell you something. It stinks.
They move towards the companionway. In the interior mess, the entire crew is present.
Some of you may have figured out that we're not home.
What the hell?
Mother's interrupted the course of the voyage. Mother's programmed to interrupt the course of the voyage if certain conditions arrive. They have. We've received intermittent transmission from quadrant points QBR 157052. Somebody's gone down.
So what?
Obligated under Section B2.
Christ, we're a commercial ship, not some rescue team. This kind of duty's not in our contract.
You better read your contract. Transmissions received in non-commercial lanes.
Dallas gives Parker and Brett a look.
We're going in. That's it.
Brett knows when to ease up.
Right. We're going in. Sir.
Dallas turns to Ash.
Can we land on it?
He takes a printout from Mother out of his hand.
The other ship did.
That's what I mean.
He studies the printout.
It's big enough. Can't see any reason why not.
Got two outside the Nostromo and refinery, approaching the star/planet system.
On the interior bridge, Dallas is at his console speaking to Ash.
We're coming into range of the planet. What kind of orbit do you plan for the cargo?
Z local vertical mode.
You figure it'll hold that?
You worried about redundancy management and disabling the CMGS control?
Yeah.
CMG control is inhibited via DAS-DCS. We'll augment with TACS and monitor through ATMDC and computer interface. Feel better?
A lot.
Outside the Nostromo, moving within range of the planet.
Inside of the Nostromo, the crew strap themselves to their seats.
Prepare for separation and orbital insertion of the cargo.
Much preparation for separation, etc.
Give me an EC pressure reading.
3.45 NC m to the second squared, 5 psia.
Chat if it changes. Deactivate probe retract system.
What about the pressure seal?
Dallas hits the appropriate switches.
Now the probe retract system.
Kane hits other equally appropriate switches.
Okay.
Release captive hatches and disengage probe.
Kane working switches and buttons.
Disengaged.
Dallas punches buttons of his own.
Outside the Nostromo, the refinery separates from Nostromo.
Interior of the bridge, Dallas watches the refinery moving away on a view screen.
All free and clear.
Orbital insertion complete.
Okay, money's safe. Let's take it down.
Outside the Nostromo, engines coughing to life. Nostromo begins its descent. Below, night's tide rolls across the planet's surface.
Interior bridge, the view screen shimmers.
Turbulence.
Exterior of the Nostromo. Tug module hydroplaning downward. A set of brilliant lights switch on, cut through the thick atmosphere.
Interior engine room cubicle. Parker and Brett, strapped in their seats, begin rocking from the sudden extreme turbulence.
Christ, overloading. What the hell are we going through?
Dust fritzing the compressor.
There goes the conversion stabilizer.
I don't know if the digital solenoid...
Forget it. If we don't crash, dollars to your aunt's cherry, we get an electrical fire.
Interior of the bridge. The turbulence continues unabated. Lambert's eyes follow cross-plot gauges.
Drop begins now. 15 kilometers and descending. 12, 10, 8 and slowing. 5, 3, 2, 1 kilometer and slowing.
Lock tractor beams.
A loud electrical hum.
Locked.
Kill drive engines.
The engines fall silent.
900 meters and dropping. 800, 700.
Exterior of the planet, night. storm blowing across the night-shrouded surface. The Nostromo hovers on glowing beams of light. Landing struts unfold like insect legs, and the ship slams down. Rocks heavily on massive shock absorbers.
Interior of the bridge at night.
We're down.
An enormous vibration. The panels in the room flash simultaneously, and lights go out.
Lost it.
Interior of the engine room. Another huge vibration, and an electrical fire breaks out along 3 control panels. In the interior of the oily corridor, a huge flash fire whips along the corridor. And in the engine room cubicle, Parker and Brett see the pandemonium below. Brett hits the secondary generator switch. A pressure valve blows. Another conduit breaks loose. All lights go out, and they grab handlights from the wall. And the interior of the bridge is still in darkness.
Secondary generator should kick over.
Where is it?
Moments. Nothing. Kane grabs the emergency headlamp from Fascia, followed by Dallas and Lambert.
What happened?
Ripley hits the voice amp.
Engine room, what happened?
Goddamn electrical fire, that's what happened.
It's big.
Interior engine room, Parker's fighting an electrical fire on one of his panels. Brett shouts into the voice amp.
The intakes are clogged. We overheated and burned out a whole cell. Christ, it's really breaking loose down here.
The interior bridge.
Hey, give me a simple answer. Has the hull been breached?
Ripley scans the gauges.
I don't see anything. We've still got pressure.
A beep on the communicator.
Hit the screen.
Kane snaps 3 toggles. The screens flicker, but remain black.
Nothing.
Exterior of the ship, night. The wind sounds. Storm continues to blow around the craft. A few glittering lights distinguish the Nostromo from absolute darkness.
In the interior engine room cubicle, Parker's on the communicator to the bridge.
4 panels totally shot. The secondary load sharing unit is out. At least 3 cells on 12 module are gone.
Interior bridge, Ripley's listening to Parker. Dallas standing over her, with no images on any screens.
Is that it?
Couldn't fix it out here anyway, and we need to reroute a couple of these ducts. Can't really fix them without a whole dry dock.
What else?
We lost a cell. Some fragments caked up and blew the whole system. We've got to clean it all out and repressurize.
Right.
Get started on 4 panel. I'll be down in 5 minutes.
She shuts off her voice communicator.
How long before we're functional?
15 to 20 hours?
Stay on it. What about the auxiliaries?
Working on it.
Exterior of the ship, night. Bridge lights come to life, illuminating nothing but a patch of featureless ground. The wind and storm now at a higher pitch.
In the interior bridge, Dallas, Kane, Lambert, and Ash slouched around the bridge, drinking coffee. Occasionally they stare at opaque screens.
Any response yet?
Nothing but the same transmission every 32 seconds. All the other channels are dead.
There's a pause.
Kick on the floods.
Cut 2, exterior of the ship. A ring of floodlights comes to life, dimly illuminating the rocky landscape. The wind and dust now at a higher pitch.
Cut to interior bridge at night. Dallas stares at the dark screens.
We can't go anywhere in this.
Mother says the sun's coming up in about 20 minutes.
How far from the source of the transmission?
Northeast, about 3,000 meters.
Close enough to walk?
Let's run an atmospheric.
Ash punches buttons, starts to consult his panel.
10% argon, 85% nitrogen, 5% neon. I'm working on the trace elements.
Pressure?
10 to the 4th dynes per square centimeter.
Moisture content?
None. 0.
Anything else?
Rock, lava base, and cold. Well below the centigrade line.
I volunteer for the first group going out.
I hear you. Lambert, you too.
There's a pause.
Swell. Oh, sorry. Swell.
Oh, you could.
One more thing. Let's get out some weapons.
Exterior of the ship, dawn. Sunrise. The atmosphere begins to lighten. Silhouette of the Nostromo becomes dimly visible. Starship perched on a barren rock, more rolling clouds of dust. The floodlights automatically shut off.
In the interior engine room cubicle, Parker and Brett laser welding one of the ducts. Shirts off. Sweat steaming. Ripley's rewiring one of the panels. Parker shuts down the laser and expects the fusion.
Hey Ripley, I got a question.
Yeah?
Do we get to go out on the expedition, or are we stuck here until everything's fixed?
You know the answer to that.
What about the shares in case they find anything?
Don't worry, you'll both get what's coming to you.
I'm not doing any more work unless we get full shares.
You're guaranteed by law that you'll get a share. Now, both of you knock it off and get back to work.
Parker looks at her, snaps on the laser weld, and starts to join another section of the duct.
Right.
In the interior main airlock at dawn, Dallas, Kane, and Lambert enter the lock. All wear gloves, boots, jackets, carry laser pistols. Kane touches a button and servos whine. Then the inner door slides quietly shut. The trio pull on their helmets.
I'm sending. Do you hear me?
Receiving.
Receiving.
All right. Keep away from the weapons unless I say otherwise.
The interior in Ash's blister, dawn. Ash descends the companionway to blister, punches up screens and instrumentation. In the main airlock at dawn.
Open the hatch.
Another servo whine. Ponderously, the outer lock hatch slides open. Clouds of dust and steam swirl before the three crew members. A mobile gangway slides out the open hatch, with burnt orange sunlight beyond.
Exterior of the planet, dawn. The trio walk down the gangplank and arrive at surface level, their feet striking onto a thick layer of lava rock. The wind at gale force.
Which way?
Over here.
You lead.
Lambert walks into the storm, followed closely by the others.
Now I can't see a goddamn thing.
Turn on the finder.
It's on. Ash, are you receiving?
Interior Ash's blister, dawn. Ash leans over his console, watches them beneath him. Corresponding images on the screen in front of him.
See you, read you. Good contact on my board.
Getting you clear and free. Let's keep the line open.
Exterior of the planet, dawn. The three crew members push their way along like divers at the bottom of a dark sea. The wind and dust continues driving down in dark sheets. Lambert repeats.
Can't see more than 3 meters in any direction.
Griping.
I like griping.
Come on.
They wade on, following Lambert. She halts abruptly, confused.
In the interior blister at dawn, Ash watches intently, images on each screen of the trio.
I've got it again.
Any problems?
Yeah, a lot of dust and wind. Starting to get some fade on the beam.
Exterior of the planet, dawn. The trio moves through a dark limbo.
This way.
Lambert indicates left, moves in that direction, and the others follow, the storm growing.
Close.
They approach a tower in rock formation. The transmission stops.
It's gone again.
We pass it?
Not unless it's underground. Let's take a break.
They shelter with the rock formation, storm howling around them. Dallas adjusts his headset. The signal starts.
I've got it again. Let's go.
How about our break?
No, let's move on while we got the signal again.
Dallas gets up. They stand for a moment, then move away from the rock formation. Fossilized into the other side of the rock is a shape, 15 feet tall, unseen by the members of the party.
The interior blister at dawn. Ash receives the video transmission, notices something within the formation, freezes the image, enlarges it again.
Exterior of the Nostromo, sunrise. Atmosphere turning the color of blood, then the sun is up.
Interior of the Nostromo, sunrise. Brett and Parker are still at work. Ripley moves away from her panel in triumph.
You ought to be able to handle the rest.
Don't worry.
If you run into trouble, I'll be on the bridge.
Right.
She leaves.
Bitch.
Interior blister, day. Ash is still working on the video image. Enhances the enlargement, transfers the image to the cathode ray. The image reveals itself to be a giant form. Indistinct. Ripley's voice comes over.
How's it going?
Ash quickly shuts off the video image, hits the intercom. Interior bridge, Ripley's at her console, looking at Ash on the screen. Ash's video image is not visible to Ripley.
All right.
Have you tried putting the transmission through ECIU?
Mother hasn't identified it as yet. It's not a language.
I'll give it a shot.
Be my guest.
She pushes some button. The noise is now heard on her speaker.
Exterior of the planet, day. Dust clearing, 3 tiny figures against the landscape. Empty landscape. Then Kane comes up over a rise, startled by what he sees. Suddenly, the transmission is deafening.
Jesus Christ!
Dallas and Lambert join him, equally startled. A gargantuan construction rising from the rock, clearly of non-human manufacture. Noise still at shrill pitch, all members of the party shouting into their voice amps.
Some kind of spaceship.
Are you sure? It's weird.
Can you see this?
Ash's blister, day. Ash looks at the craft on the screen.
Yeah, never seen one like it. Neither has Mother.
Keep checking for enhancement.
Whatever the transmission is, it's inside that.
I'll go in and have a look.
Hold on, Ash, I don't see any lights or movements, do you?
I can't get any reading.
Exterior of the planet, day.
It's putting out so much power, I just can't get any reading.
Dallas shuts off his receiver. Sudden quiet. A long moment.
It looks pretty dead from here. We'll approach the base.
They move toward the ship.
Interior blister, day. Ash is still adjusting image of rock and form and rock. It suddenly resolves. A skeleton, 15 feet long. He enlarges the image.
There's only one thing I can...
Dallas's voice fades in and out, as do their images on the screen.
Dallas! Dallas, do you read me?
No reply. Interior bridge, day. Ripley's running the transmission through ECIU. Over the speakers, Dallas's voice fades in.
No sign of life, no lights, no movement.
She studies a long series of binary programs.
We're beneath the base.
His voice fades into static and disappears.
Cut 2. Exterior of the structure, day. The lower part of the entrance filled with dust and pumice.
It's like an entrance.
Yeah, let's move inside.
They climb up to one of the apertures and enter. Interior of the chamber, day. They move into a high-ceilinged chamber, walls covered with shadowy lattices. Ghostly light filters dust-filled air. A few meters and an opening appears. Dallas leans over and looks into the hole. Only blackness. He unclips the light from his belt, shines it down into the hole.
Go down. Smooth walls. Can't see the bottom. Light won't reach.
Kane and Lambert come over. Dallas begins unclipping gear from his belt.
Let's take a look around here first.
Kane and Lambert exchange a glance. Dallas shines its light about, sees a large, glossy urn, tan coloration. Round opening at the top, empty within. Then Dallas shines his light on a nearby lattice. Moves closer.
Here.
They approach. Train their lights along the floor. A machine. On the mechanism, a small bar moves steadily back and forth, sliding noiselessly in the grooves.
Still functioning.
Lambert looks down at her direction finder.
Automatic recording.
Dallas snaps it off.
Now for a look down below. This is your big chance.
Okay.
Don't unhook yourself from the cable. Be out in less than 10 minutes. Read me.
Aye, aye.
Dallas rigs a tripod over the opening in the floor and unspools a couple of feet of wire. Kane attaches the end of it to his chest unit. Climbs over the lip and drops into the hole, now hanging by the wire. Head and shoulders out of the opening, Kane activates the climbing unit, lowers himself into the fissure. Interior structure opening. Kane braces his feet against the wall of the vertical shaft, switches on his light, points it into the depths. The beam penetrates only 30 feet or so, and then is lost in darkness.
Hotter in here. Warm air rising from below.
He starts down, playing out the line, descending in short leaps, stops to catch his breath, breathing, rasping loudly in his helmet. A little sunlight filters from above. Looking up, Kane can see the mouth of the hole, a glowing spot of light.
You okay in there?
Haven't hit bottom yet. This is work. Can't talk now.
He kicks off and continues down, taking longer and longer hops as he gains confidence. Pausing for a moment to regain his breath, he shines the light on his instruments.
I'm below ground level.
Interior bridge, Ripley's at her console, still working on transmission. Gets a readout, looks worried, and speaks into the communicator.
Ash, tell Dallas Mother speculates that the noise is some kind of warning.
I can't tell him anything. I've lost contact. The transmission around the ship is killing all communications.
Pause.
I'm going after them.
I don't think so. We can't spare the personnel. We've got minimum takeoff capability right now. That's why Dallas left us on board.
I think we should go after them.
What's the point? In the time it'll take to get there, they'll know if it's a warning.
Ripley looks steadily at Ash on her monitor. His screen, not visible to her, shows a blow-up of the helmeted, skeletal head. Not human.
Interior of the structure. Kane resumes his downward climb. Suddenly, his feet lose their purchase as the walls of the shaft disappear. The tunnel has reached its end. Below him is a dark, cavernous space. Deep breaths due to his violent exertion.
See anything?
Tunnel's gone. Cave or something below me. Feels like the goddamn tropics in here.
He consults his instruments. Helmet instrumentation strobing softly in the darkness.
High nitrogen content, no oxygen.
Still puffing, he releases his purchase on the stone walls. Begins to lower himself on power. Now Kane is dangling free in darkness, spinning slowly on the wire as the chest unit unwinds. Then his feet hit the bottom. Kane grunts in surprise, almost loses his balance. He flashes his suit lights. The beams reveal that he is in a large hold. Row after row of extrusions stretch from floor to ceiling.
This is weird.
What do you mean?
There's something all over the walls.
Kane walks across the chamber, examines the organic protrusions. Interior, chamber above, Dallas and Lambert.
How long until sunset?
20 minutes.
A look from Lambert. Interior of the hold. Kane approaches the center of the room. On the floor are rows of leathery, ovoid shapes. He walks around them, shines his light on one.
Some kind of storage area. Is anybody there? You read me?
Loud and clear.
This place is full of leathery things, sealed. Soft to the touch.
Can you see what's in them?
I'll give it a look.
He tries to open one of them. It won't open.
Strange feeling to it.
Don't open it. You don't know what's in it.
Kane peers closely at the leathery ovoids, turns away. Raised areas begin to appear where he touched it. He moves his light along the rows, turns back to the one he was examining. Something has changed. The opaque surface begins to clear, objects becoming visible within. Kane shines his light on the floor at the base of it. He studies it.
Jesus.
What?
Viscera and mandible now visible, the interior surface spongy and irregular. Kane shines the light inside. With shocking violence, a small creature smashes outward, fixes itself onto his mask, sizzling. The creature melts through the mask, attaches itself to Kane's face. Kane tears at the thing with his hands, his mouth forced open. He falls backward. Interior.
Kane.
Chamber above.
Kane, can you hear me?
What's the matter?
We better haul him out.
It'll yank him right off his feet if he's not expecting it.
Try him again.
Kane. Kane. God damn it, answer me.
Dallas begins to fiddle with the winch mechanism.
Line slack.
Pause.
He doesn't answer. Do you think he could have unhooked himself?
Dallas switches on the winch motor. With a whine, it begins to reel the line in. After a moment, the line tightens with a jerk. The motor slows, laboring under added weight.
It's hot.
Is it hooked on something?
No, it's coming.
I can't see anything.
Dallas shines his light down into the hole, shakes his head.
The line's still moving.
A long moment. Dallas shines his light again.
Here he comes.
The winch labors heavily.
Get ready to grab him.
Kane appears at the top of the opening, dangles limply from the wire. Dallas reaches for him, then recoils.
Oh, look out. There's something on his face.
Lambert attempts to help.
What is it?
Kane appears to be completely unconscious. The life form is still wrapped motionless around his face.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't touch it.
They grapple with Kane's limp body, lift him from the hole. Interior, entrance to derelict, sunset. Kane is now pinioned between Dallas and Lambert, the storm raging through and beyond the entrance. Dallas begins to assemble travois. Exterior, the Nostromo, sunset. Atmosphere turning the color of blood, and the sun is down. The ring of floodlights on the ship comes to life, feebly combating the darkness and continuing storm.
On the interior bridge, Joan the cat stares through a port opening at the storm. Ripley waits on the bridge, and Ash stares at his inactive monitors. Suddenly...
We've got them. They're back on the screens.
How many?
3 blips. They're coming this way.
Ripley presses transmitter.
Dallas, Lambert, can you read me?
We hear you. We're coming back. Kane's injured. We'll need some help getting him in.
Ripley stares at the screen.
I'll go.
Ash moves from the room. Ripley remains seated at her console. On the exterior landing leg, at night, Dallas and Lambert are dragging Kane on a travois toward the landing leg. In the interior passageway near the airlock, Ash comes down the steps, hurries to the inner door lock, and presses the wall voice amp.
Ripley, I'm by the inner lock hatch.
Okay.
Exterior landing leg, night. Dallas and Lambert drag Kane onto lift platform. In the interior passageway near airlock, Parker comes running up.
What's going on?
Kane got hurt somehow.
How bad?
Ash shrugs. Brett appears to the top of the companionway with a puzzled look on his face. On the interior bridge, Ripley seated alone in the room. Dallas appears in a huge image on all screens. Lambert behind him. Kane is pinioned to Dallas.
Are you there?
Right here.
We're coming up. Open the lock.
What happened to Kane? I need a clear definition.
Some kind of organism. It's attached itself to it. Let us in. You hear me? Open the lock.
If we let it in, the ship could be infected.
God damn it, open the hatch.
We've already broken every rule or quarantine. If we bring an organism on board, we won't have a single layer of defense left.
Open the goddamn hatch. We have to get him inside.
I can't. If you were in my position, you'd do the same.
The interior passageway near the airlock.
Ripley, do we hear me?
I read you. The answer is negative.
Ash hits the emergency switch. A red light goes on, a servo whines, and it's followed by a solid metallic chunk.
Inner hatch open.
On the interior bridge at night, Ripley's staring at the console. She can't believe what she sees. She turns to the view screens, watches Dallas, Kane, and Lambert enter. End of night 1. Oh, that's today.
That is today. Crushed it.